Twitter, according to Reuters, for the first time prompted readers to check the fact in tweets sent by President Trump, warning readers his claims about mail-in ballots were false and had been debunked by fact checkers. The blue exclamation mark notification prompted readers to get the facts about mail-in ballots and directed them to a page with news articles and information from fact checkers about his claims. Trump had claimed in tweets earlier in the day mail-in ballots would be substantially fraudulent and result in rigged elections. He singled out the governor of California over the issue. Twitter said this was the very first time it had applied a label to a tweet by the president under its new misleading information policy, which had been introduced earlier in the month. There's only one problem. They were wrong. The fact check was incorrect. According to Allah Pundit at Hot Air, they are, instead of fact checking like the he killed his intern routine, they decided to fact check the mail-in ballot stuff. And they're wrong. Okay, click the fact check link in the tweets. According to Allah Pundit, you're sent to a page which claims, among other things, that fact checkers say there's no evidence mail-in ballots are linked to voter fraud. That is not true. As per an NPR story from early April, election experts say Trump is partially correct that there is slightly more fraud in mail voting than in in-person voting. The same experts told NPR election fraud is extremely rare in all instances. But it is not true that there's no evidence that mail-in ballots are linked to voter fraud. In fact, yesterday, there was an actual case filed by the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of West Virginia in which a letter carrier was charged with election fraud related to mail-in requests for primary ballots. Yesterday, the mail-in primary ballot requests appeared to have been part of a state plan to send absentee ballot requests to everyone in West Virginia during the novel coronavirus pandemic. The postman defendant, Thomas Cooper, faces 1 count. That's according to court documents obtained by Law and Crime. He even admitted to altering some of the requests. So at the same time that Twitter is claiming that there's no evidence of mail-in ballots being fraudulently used or obtained, the federal government is filing a case against somebody for doing just that. So Twitter's fact-checking. Again, everybody's incompetent. Everybody's terrible. Twitter is fact-checking and using the wrong facts, which is incredible. By the way, if you're going to fact-check things, it turns out that Twitter needs to fact-check its own site integrity head. There's a person named Yoel Roth. He is the head of Twitter's fact-checking team. There's only one problem. Yoel Roth has tweeted about how Trump was a Nazi. He suggested that he is Joseph Goebbels. He compared Kellyanne Conway to Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propagandist. So are they going to fact check his tweets? So obviously this opened the way to President Trump going after Twitter. So now we have Trump versus Twitter, which again is a better battle for Trump than Trump versus Joe Scarborough's dead intern. But does it lead to any sort of principled outcome? No. Now we're going to get commitment signaling on behalf of Trump that is anti-free speech, which is just mind-boggling. So Trump is objecting to the fact that people are saying that people should take down his tweets or fact-check his tweets. I agree. Twitter should not be fact-checking his tweets. If you want to fact-check his tweets, you have the Google machine. Do it yourself. If you want to check the fact-checkers have all the information out there. People are tweeting about it. That's what Twitter's for. It's a fulsome engagement with various points of view. But President Trump responds to this by saying, you're trying to censor me on Twitter? Well, what if I just shut down Twitter entirely? What if I, President of the United States, simply shut down the social media company? So he tweets out, Republicans feel that social media platforms totally silence conservative voices. We will strongly regulate or close them down before we can ever allow this to happen.